Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bandito Resale's 25 Days of Resale Deals. My name is Justin, and we are going to jump in today doing something a little bit like yesterday. As opposed to showing you some high dollar items of a certain category, I showed you items that I had actually sold on Mercari. Today, I'm going to be doing the same, but with Poshmark. This Poshmark account is still technically active, but I don't have anything listed on it right now. Kind of transitioning away from this one and transitioning everything into the Bandito resale umbrella, where it is me and my business partner Tito teaming up to resell. More on that a little bit after this series and into the new year, but let's go ahead and dive into these items and I will tell you what I paid for them, what I made off of them, and yeah, let's jump right on into it. So here we have a pair of Uggs, fur-lined boots in a size 10. Just going through some of the pictures, they were in okay condition. I wouldn't say they were anywhere near perfect. You can see that from this picture here, you can see that there was quite a bit of wear on the heel, so definitely well loved. This particular pair of boots sold for $25 plus the $7.97 shipping as on all Poshmark orders. In this particular case, these were picked up at the Goodwill outlet when it was still, excuse me, when it was still 129 a pound. So no more than $3 into this pair of boots, sold for 25. With Poshmark's 20%, I would have ended up clearing $20 minus the $3 is $17 profit. So a good item right there. Jumping on into the next thing, we have this Disney Park Stitch hat. It was animated. There was like a way that the ears could move, if I remember correctly, and it was just like the nose squeezed or something like that, and it made the ears pop up. So it was kind of cool. I got this at the Goodwill outlet as well, and it was incredibly light. I couldn't have paid more than a quarter for this thing. And that being said, it sold for $15. So there was definitely some profit on that. With the 20%, I still probably made a good $10 to $12 on this item. So, yeah, great one to pick up. Jumping into the next is a Missouri State University Bears Nike Legacy 91 stretch fit hat. One size fits most. As you can see, this is Nike, their version of a stretch fit or flex fit hat. This one's a Nike dry fit. Again, got this at the Goodwill outlet. Wouldn't have paid more than a quarter to 50 cents. Sold for $12. Would have cleared nine something after the fees from Poshmark. So quick $9 profit on an item I paid next to nothing for. All right, and you're going to notice a consistent theme in these Poshmark sales, and that's that almost all of these items were picked up from the Goodwill outlet or the bins. This was a pair of Vibram Five Fingers size US 8 beige hook and loop beach shoes. And if you take a look at them, they were honestly in really good condition as far as the wear on them. They were just dirty. I decided not to take the time to clean them up and get a little more because they sold for $18 plus the $7.97 shipping. At that, I still made a significant profit, at least 12, 13 bucks for something that I paid $2 or less for. Moving on to the next, and this one I have some questions about now, and did a little bit after it's sold, which I did actually communicate to this buyer. These are some Coach women's Nova pink velvet leather or loafer shoes. These were a size 5B, and as you can see here, they have. Let me see if I can pull it up here. You can see the Coach logo on the bottom, the little Coach, Stagecoach, and you can see that the size is stamped in on there. The question that I have now going back is, are these legit? They looked like it to me, and they do say Coach all over. But I went back to the Goodwill outlet the next day, and there were like 50 of this exact same pair of shoes. That made me nervous, so I didn't pick any more up. But there were no complaints from the buyer, and she said she loved them. So yeah, I would definitely recommend making sure your items are legitimate. I wouldn't have sold this if that had even gone through my mind, but then I saw a whole bunch of them at one time and I got a little suspicious. That being said, we do have a Coach outlet here in the St. Louis metro area, and it is very, very possible that it was just a situation where they got rid of an entire stock of something, but $21. These were incredibly light. Couldn't have paid more than £1 worth, so $1.29, $1.79, less than $2. Sold for $21 plus shipping. On to the next, yet again, another pair of shoes that I picked up at the Goodwill outlet. This is a pair of Skechers Flex Sole women's shoes in a size 11. Sold for $20 plus shipping, so I would have cleared $16 on these, minus about $2 on the buy cost, a $14 profit. Again, when I bought shoes at the Goodwill outlet or when I buy shoes at the Goodwill outlet, I usually don't put much effort into cleaning them up unless they're a very high dollar item, and they definitely still sell, especially in the current economy. I think you're going to see a lot more people buying used shoes and used hats, things like that, to save a little bit of money that they would have been spending previously when they might have had more. All right, so moving on to the next, yet again, another pair of shoes from the Goodwill outlet. This is some Saucony women's Ride 8 lace-up shoes in a size 9.5. And just kind of going through some of the pictures here, these were in pretty dang good condition, just a little bit dirty on the bottom, but there was not really any sole wear. And that's what I try to look for. These are running shoes. The people that are buying them want to run in them, so they want that heel area and that toe area to be in really good condition. Also, I know on my Mercari video I showed you one where they weren't in good shape, but right here at the back of the heel, you really want to still have some padding because a runner that buys a shoe that doesn't have any padding there is going to be getting cut up by like plastic inside the shoe, and they don't want that. These sold for $25 plus shipping, which means I cleared $20 on this item. Couldn't have paid more than $5 at the most. These were from the Goodwill outlet, so more likely less than 3, so yet again a very big and quick profit. Moving on to the next is something that you don't necessarily typically see on Poshmark, and that is this Disney Parks Haunted Mansion salt and pepper shakers. These sold for $20, which means I cleared $16 after the fees on Posh. That being said, I paid $4.99 for these at Burlington. Burlington commonly gets Disney Parks merchandise and sells it all over the country, so it was a Burlington here in St. Louis that I picked it up at. And these sold, like I said, it would have been $16 after fees minus my $4.99 buy cost, made $11. And these sold almost instantly after I listed them. All right, the next thing is this pair of Universal Thread Cameron faux leather combat boots. These sold for $18 in shipping. So again, you take your 20% off of that, 16.50. These probably sold for I don't feel like doing the full math, somewhere between 12 and $14. I actually got these out of a liquidation box from the company Bulk and made a video about it back when I did that on a different channel. Uh, Usually you cannot make money on those boxes from Bulk. They usually just aren't good enough. But in this case, I got a ton of these Universal Thread shoes and they all sold for around this much, and I did actually make a decent profit. All right, next, this was a great find. This is a Kangol hat with a very cool robot print on the back. And there you can see the inside with the Kangol Born British tag in a size large. This hat's kind of hard to find, and Kangol is a very popular brand when it comes to these. Sold for $20 plus shipping, which means, again, I sold this for, or made $16 on it. This is another item that was picked up at the Goodwill outlet, so at least a $15 profit here. All right, two more. This next thing is going to be these Ivanka Trump knee-length boots. And these were also picked up yet again from the Goodwill outlet, probably paid less than $3, but definitely no more than 5 for them. As you can see, a little bit of wear on the bottom. They're actually pretty worn through on that front part, but the heel is in okay condition. You can see here somebody asked me if they were stretchy and they wanted to make sure they fit, and I could look, but I'm not sure if they bought them or someone else did, but they sold for $20, which meant I cleared 16. Again, buy cost would have been less than $4, so at least an $11 profit. And finally, we move on to our last Poshmark item, and that is these Vionic Alliance tennis shoes. To be 100% honest with you, these belonged to my mom, and she was just throwing them out. That's why instead of the laces in them, they have these, I forgot what these are called, but these replacement laces that just kind of stretch out. And These sold for $12 plus shipping with a with a 20% cost. That would take $2.40 off of that. So little under $10 in profit, but it was all profit for me, so it was worth it. All right, so that is everything that I have to show you today that was sold on one of my Poshmark stores. If you like videos like this, hit that like button down below and hit that subscribe button for more, and we will see you in the next one.